Yeah, hello?
Hi, hello. Is this Shroom? Shroom?
Shmo.
Shroom. Okay.
Yes.
This is Tommy Bryson. Just want to let you
Just
know
one
this.
second. Let me put in my Bluetooth.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Just want to let you know this call is gonna be recorded and potentially uploaded. How can I help you?
Yes. So basically, I saw you posted on your story that you're looking that you're taking free calls for how to build a credit. Yeah.
Yeah. How can I help?
So so basically, I have a problem with Verizon. They put me on a collection, and now I have a huge bill. I saw whatever you posted on a video a year ago about that you paid off that you made a transfer, but I can't make a transfer because I didn't get approved because Verizon, what's called, put me on collection, and
Mm,
Verizon put me on collection because I didn't pay the bill, but they
mm-hmm.
charged me like November. I closed my account in November, and they charged me for November. They charged me 3 months afterwards for June, for January, February.
Okay. So how much do you
So
owe?
how much now? It's 16,000. It's a lot of money, and I
You owe
don't have a regular.
$16,000 to
Yeah,
Verizon?
no, not six.
How?
No, not 16,000. I thought they asked me for the how much I owe the credit card bureau, the credit card
Wait, wait, wait,
company.
wait, 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 wait. Let's take a pause here, okay?
Yeah,
We're talking about Verizon. How much do you owe Verizon?
165.
One what?
I whatever. $165.
$165 to Verizon.
Yeah, but they charged me for nothing. But I'm ready to pay it if they don't want to make a dispute for it. Um,
How much does collection say you owe?
165.
Wow, so okay. All right. Okay. So collections saying you owe $165. You spoke to Verizon. They said, we are ready to use
I spoke to
collections. We
Verizon
no longer have the debt, right?
actually yesterday. I spoke to Verizon yesterday. I figured it out like 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't come over to Verizon. So I spoke to them yesterday, and they told me that it's going to take around 2 days until I get a answer from them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and I'm starting to pay interest on my credit card.
Okay, so
When
first
is
of
it?
all,
July
right,
7th.
let's just tackle this first, right? Usually when a company sends you into collections, they officially no longer hold the debt anymore. They've sold the debt to another company. Now,
Right.
maybe sometimes they're able to say, hey, maybe we'll get the debt back or something like that, but usually it just doesn't happen. So now the person that actually owns your debt is going to be the collection company. The collection companies buys your debt for a fraction of whatever it actually costs. So
That I know.
if you
Yes.
owe $165, most likely they pay like maybe like $16, $20 for the debt. Then they're trying to collect the whole amount. You can negotiate with them and then say, hey, we all want a paper saying that I basically paid this whole thing off. Then potentially can dispute it. That's the collections parts of Verizon. Now, it sounds like also you have some credit card problems. So what's going on with your credit cards?
Well, yeah, and my credit cards I owe how much? Around $16,000.
Okay,
It's
okay.
two credit cards. I got approved. I was. I mean, when you get approved a young age, I got approved when I was 18, not even 19.
Wow.
Not even 19. I got approved for 2 credit cards, 8,000 and 8,000. And
Wow.
I didn't know what credit card means. I
Yeah.
started to swipe off everything and I had free money. And then I realized, I got an email that I have to pay interest. I thought minimum payments. Then I got an email that interest starting is
Yeah.
July 7th. And
Okay.
that's so close, and I don't want to pay not even a single dollar of interest.
Well, the first thing is this, right? There's a few things you can do here. You can call the credit card company. You can say because of what's going on with the pandemic and you've been going through some hardship, potentially they could pause the
Right.
interest. Most likely, usually they don't
I
do that.
told them. I told them that I didn't have a job. COVID, whatever. I gave them a story, a grandma story. You know what I'm talking about.
And what did they say?
And so basically, I called them and they said that there's no way in the world they're gonna like push off my
Your
interest.
interest. Okay, so then it comes down to this last thing here, right? So how much money do you make per month?
I'm gonna tell you the truth now. Okay, so basically, sorry, I was in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what did you say?
Are you buying stuff right now?
Yes,
You're at a clothing store?
I'm in a Toco, whatever.
Okay. All right. So the question is, how much money do you make per month?
How much money that I make? Around $3,500, but I have also a lot of expenses.
Okay. What are your expenses? Now, the first thing is this, right? Before you tell me your expenses, I follow something called a triple B budget, right? It's called a bare bone budget, where you only take care of the necessities and that is it. Necessities are 4 fundamentals. You have shelter, utilities, groceries, and lastly, transportation. Everything else outside of that, like you going shopping or you going to eat somewhere fancy or you buying extra clothes, like all those things are just wants, not things you actually need. So you make $3,500 per month, which is a good income, by the way. Congratulations. But what are your expenses?
I'm 20. Basically, my expenses is more. I have more expenses than average teenager.
What do you do? What do you do for work?
I work part time at a mask facility.
A mask utility?
We produce masks.
Oh, mass utility. Okay, mass utility.
Facility.
Okay, so that's also a job that's probably might not be around the next 2-3 years.
Might not be around in the next couple of
months.
Months.
Yeah. So if I were you, I would take all this money because 3.5 thousand times 12, that's around $42,000 a year, right? So it's not that bad. You make a good amount of money. I would try to basically, okay, let's go through the expenses first. Like, what do you spend money on? What are your expenses? You're saying you spend so much money on.
Basically, I have more expenses than an average teenager because.
Okay. Tell me about them.
First time I'm in school, and then my work is not near the school. So first I started taking classes every day. It's around $50 a day for classes. But I knew that that's not the way how to do it. So I bought a bike. I bought a bike, electric bike for $1,000. I made my calculations. I pay one time $1,000, and then I make 100% profit of what I work. So then I had a slight accident 2 weeks ago with my bike.
I'm sorry about that.
Somebody walked into me. Whatever, my bike broke, and but I was 100% okay. Thank God.
Where do you live?
I live in New York City. No, actually, I live in New Jersey. I work, and my school is in New York City.
Okay. How much money do you spend on living costs, like shelter?
Shelter. I don't pay anything for the school. It's basically, it's a private school, but.
You dorm there?
I dorm there, yeah.
Okay. Are your parents in New Jersey?
School. My parents are in New Jersey, and I gotta find a way every weekend to go to my parents. If the way costs money, I have to pay the money. My parents doesn't have a lot of money, so that's why I basically, if I need to buy clothing, I mean, I was never used to buy clothes, never used to buying clothing. So, I grew up, and I saw. I mean, I made my calculation. My father doesn't have money. I would rather, work some money. I would rather make some money and spend it on my own things. And I just started working in the nurse facility like 2 months ago. No, more than 2 months ago. I didn't work there for too long, and now I started camp last week Wednesday, so I had to stop the working. So now
How much
I
does the
only
school
have
cost you per month? What's the tuition per year? I mean.
they don't charge me any tuition.
So wait, there's no tuition in the school. You have no student loan debt.
They charge tuition for my father, but it's basically if my father doesn't have money to pay it, it's
Then
okay.
you pay it.
But then no one pays it because I have college programs.
Oh, you have a scholarship program. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a high school. It's more than high school. It's like a graduated school. It's more for all the boys.
What are you studying?
We studied basically the Bible. I'm a religion Jew.
Okay. Okay. So this is like are you trying to be like a minister or something like that?
What?
What are you trying to do as a career?
As a career, I would like to be a realtor.
A realtor.
Real estate,
Okay.
yeah.
So how does going to the school help you with that goal?
It doesn't help me, but basically, it's in every community there is what's called you gotta do what the community says. If you don't do what the community, I forgot the name of it. It's not what the community says. It's not a rule like.
It's just tradition.
It's like it's everyone does it. Everyone by us we learn in school. We study the Bible and we study other books until we get married. Or by us we get married. We get married very early. We don't date.
Yeah.
We get married like some get married by the 18th. Some get married by the 20. Some even get married by the 25. So like 22. Once you hit the age 22, if you're not married, you go work. But
you go what?
It's not you can go work.
Oh, you go work. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not a rule that you can't work before you get married. It's basically if you don't do it, you're basically a dropout. You don't get married. It's hard for you to find the perfect girl for you because you're a dropout. You went to work before everyone goes to work.
So let me ask you a personal question, right? Because it sounds like traditions are being involved here. From a personal point of view, because I've just had this conversation with you for the first time, hearing about this for the first time also, right? My only question is, are you willing to follow these traditions? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now, if I were you and I'm following all these traditions and I'm basically going to school for virtually free and I have a job and you're telling me you have expenses where you take care of your parents, basically, you're saying that?
No, I take care of my own food. I take care of my own
but
clothing and
okay. Now let me tell you this, right? You have 4 main expenses. Shelter, that's basically zero for you because again, your dad's paying for that stuff, right? Then you have utilities. That's like internet, your phone bill, and things like that. In your case, do you pay your phone bill or does your parents pay your phone bill?
I even pay my father's also.
Okay. Then you have groceries. You're buying your own food. Groceries should not be more than $200 per person. You should not be eating out or any of that stuff, especially when you're in this debt. It means you buy food and you cook it at home or wherever you're living. That's the idea. And then lastly, you have transportation. In your case, you had a bike, it broke, you don't got it anymore. Now, if you live,
I'm gonna return it. Obviously.
Okay, but if you live, for example, in New Jersey or anywhere around New York, you can easily find a good quality used car between $2,000 to $3,000. You can just basically use that if you want to, or even like $1,000 beater car. That way you're a lot safer. You're able to go from point A to point B, and this way you're fine. Now, the big thing is if you cut down your bills, right? Your fundamental bills at your current rate and what you actually spend should not be more than between 500 to 750 most likely per month. That means the rest of your money should not be going towards like you eating out or you trying to enjoy your life before you get married. Should be going towards, because you're willing to do that stuff. You told me you were. You should be going towards paying this debt. Now, how do you pay this debt? The answer is going to be, for example, you use the avalanche method, meaning you pay the debt with the highest APR. So you call both credit card companies, you ask, hey, what's my APR? Hey, your APR is X, and the APR over here is X. You pay the one that has the lowest amount, the highest amount. That way, mathematically, you save more money. Now, usually, in this position, go ahead, say that again. You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Now you hear me better?
Yeah, I hear you better now. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I have two credit cards, the same APR.
Mm-hmm. The same APR.
Yeah, it's 23.7, I think, APR per month, and I mean it's insane to pay 23% on 8,000 and 8,000. How much is it?
Okay, so if they're both the same amount, because it sounds like they're both maxed out, the answer is just pay either one of them. So you pay the minimum on one of them, and then you focus all the rest of the money on the other one. So that means if you're only spending $750 per month, you should have an additional $2,250 to throw this credit card every single month. Meaning, for example, in the first 3 to 6 months, if you still have that job, you should be done with one credit card. Now, this is your method of getting out of debt. Meaning, for example, in 1 year, potentially, you're going to be debt-free. But the answer is, once you are debt-free, you want to cut the credit cards and you stop using them. If you want to maintain a credit score, just put one small bill on each credit card. Your Netflix bill, your iPhone bill, like your iCloud or your Apple Music, whatever you have, put a small bill on it, and you cut the credit card and you set them to auto pay. That is it. You don't use them anymore. You don't worry about cash back. You don't worry about anything. Just worry about having a good budget. Now, one thing is, okay, usually what I would recommend in the situation is, hey, since you are in college, you pay, for example, between 20 to 40% towards that. The rest of the money, use it, for example, for your real estate license, right? But it's all up to you. Because the thing is, in 2 years, you could be married and you could have a massive career change. I don't know how it's going to work for you because of your culture. So an idea would be, once I have my triple B budget, my bare bone budget, just shelter, in this case, 0, utilities around like $70, food $200, transportation, maybe like $200 for the insurance. That's it. It's like $500 in expenses. The rest of the money that's left over, in your case, it might be, for example, let's say $2,500. We're gonna grab that money. A real estate license in New York does not cost more than $2,000 to $3,000. So if you want to work towards that also while you have a full-time job, you're also going, for example, like the whole school thing that you're doing, for example, for your culture, you can do it if you want to also. You can put money towards that, but your main priority is going to be to become debt-free. Now, one thing is this, right? If you're gonna follow through with this culture and you're fine with it, I'm happy for you. But it means that if in 2 years you're gonna be married and all this other stuff, you gotta make sure when you do marry this girl, you go in there without any of these crazy burdens, without having, for example, this massive credit card debt, without knowing how to actually manage your money. You wanna have these skills, because once you do get married, then come the kids, then come everything else. So that way you're fully taken care of. Exactly. But the expenses can be manageable as long as you're not overspending, right? So you have, remember, right? Bare bone budget. Only the things I need here. Shelter, utilities, groceries, not eating out, and lastly, transportation. You can buy a used vehicle, and that's it.
I have one more question.
Go ahead, brother.
A friend told me about what's called making a settlement with the bank. And,
Making a settlement with them.
Yeah.
If you make a settlement with them, what's going to happen is your credit score is going to be ruined for at least another 7 years.
And there's no way how I could tell them I pay 50% of the money.
No, because you borrowed that money. What happens is this, right? A bank only negotiates with you after you stop paying them. By the time they're willing to negotiate with you, you're gonna have, for example, between 6 to 10 late payments on your entire credit score. So when it comes down to buying a home for your new wife or trying to buy whatever you want to buy, it's going to be very hard, very difficult for you because you've proven that you just can't maintain credit and you're very bad at paying things back. So what I'm asking for you is not to try to play the bank or anything like that. I'm asking you to make a sacrifice. Meaning in 12 months, potentially, you could be 100% debt free. Again, you're 20 years old, but you're also making $3,500 per month. $3,500 per month is somewhere almost around $40,000.
Right. It's what's called. I told you that now I only have expenses because I'm in camp. I went to camp for 2 months.
But what's the camp expense? I don't understand that. What's the camp? I thought you told me your dad is paying for that. So what's the camp expense?
So basically, I gotta pay for my own food.
Okay, again, food is just $200 per month. You're buying groceries and you're cooking it. So all right, what's the next expense?
Okay, the next expense is
no food. No clothing or anything like that. Stop it with the clothes stuff.
I have to buy clothing.
What else? For what?
I have to buy for t-shirts for sports, sweatpants, bathing suits.
No.
I just spent $110.
Go to Goodwill. You go to Goodwill, or you go to an outlet, and you buy sweatpants for $5 to $10 a pop.
Yeah, I just did it. I just went to a store and I just paid $5 or $10 for a t-shirt, $5 a t-shirt, and then a beach towel, and then a regular towel for the shower, and then everything costs money. I just spent $110 for that.
Okay, but now you have everything you need, right? So you don't need to keep buying any more clothing. So now that part is done. Clothing is not a recurring expense. It's something you buy. When it's dirty, you wash it. Then you reuse it.
Right.
So you'll be fine. So as far as groceries, just $200 per month here. As far as clothing, you already bought it, so you're good to go. And then utilities taken care of. Also, your transportation expenses are very low. And your stay there is covered by your dad. So you should be good to go. The majority of your money should be going towards your debt payment. Save around 10-20% when it comes time to actually get your real estate license, which you're not gonna. Are you gonna do that now after you're done with camp?
Probably I will do that after the summer. Do a real estate license. Of course, on a license, it costs around $2,000 for the license and $3,000 for the course.
Okay. The thing is, right? Whenever you're finding all these prices, you gotta go out there and you gotta compare, right? If I type in average real estate license in New York costs, right? It says, let me see here, average real estate license. Let's see how much it actually costs in New York on average. Because the courses that you're gonna take, it depends on the school that's gonna teach you it. Some schools are more expensive than others. Cost of, let me see, real estate license application fee. The application fee is around $55. If you want to step up to a broker license, it's around $155. So it all comes down to the actual school that's going to teach you everything you need to know to actually pass the whole test. So it's not really that expensive. Compare schools. Look at every single school and see exactly which one is going to be.
It's not a school. It's where I want to do it. He's a coach, and he's an online coach. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
What's her name?
He's very famous. It's not a her, it's a he. Grant Cardone.
Okay, all right, I see what's going on here. You want to do real estate, right?
Yes.
You want to get a real estate license?
I want to get a real estate license. I want to do real estate, yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you get it from Grant Cardone or whether you get it from Bob Myers. It's the same qualification.
Right, 100%.
It does not matter.
It's the same qualification, but
so don't get it. So don't get it from Grant Cardone. And nobody's gonna care.
Nobody has knowledge of 30 some odd years, and
All the knowledge of Grant Cardone is in his $15 books. Just buy his $15 book. Get the whole real estate.
books.
Okay, then you read those books. But if I'm telling you, for example, hey, you're Tommy Bryson, so pay me an extra $1,000, but you're broke and you're $60,000 in debt, the answer is you don't do it. Get what you need.
Right.
What you need is your license. The knowledge of Grant Cardone and countless other people that are very good at real estate is out there in their books. You study those books, you get all their information. There's no, and I think usually like Grant Cardone and his courses are handled by other people, so you're probably not gonna get the chance to actually see him or anything like that if that's what you're wishing for. So. Right. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on the name. If you understand marketing, you understand that's just you being marketed to. It's like me saying, hey, this course is by Tommy Bryson, and then this course is by...
Actually, I got born with the talent of marketing. I know whatever. Yeah. I'm very good at marketing.
Awesome. So you know what he's doing is just using his name to basically market to you something and you think is more better because it's basically Grant Cardone. Don't fall for that. If you go, for example, one website I found very quickly was Kaplan Real Estate Education. It says here, examination fee is $15, salesperson standard application fee is $55, local association of realtors is $500 to $700, and then all the list, everything is basically right here. So you can basically find a very cheap alternative. You don't need to pay $5,000, $6,000 for something you just because of the name. It's like picking a fancy college over another college for a fraction of the price. Right. Nobody cares. The people you're gonna sell real estate to don't care if you say like, oh, I got it from Grant Cardone or I got it from here. They care about your people skills and how good you are at your job. So don't get sold to by Grant Cardone that's telling you how to sell to other people, but he's selling to you first. So my recommendation for you right now, brother, would be if you're in camp, appreciate this time right here because your expenses are very low. Use the bulk of your money to pay off your debt. Take that 6-month, 12-month period to save, for example, 10, 20% of your income, and you put it aside for your whole real estate course. If what you want to do is just focus 100% of the debt, that's even better. Increase your chances to actually pay it off completely. And then once you're done, you can say, I'm going to use my money to just basically pay for the real estate course after 1 to 2 months of actually working. So that way you're not focusing on saving and also paying off debt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But one thing is going to be, before you start the whole process, save at least a minimum of $1,000 for emergencies. Just like you got into an accident with your bike, it could happen again, and this time it could be worse. So have at least $1,000 in there in case anything does go wrong, okay?
Right.
And by the way, man, you sound like you're a very smart guy. You're reading all the right books, and you're a lot like me. You know, when I was 20 years old, I cared a lot about names. I cared about what course I was gonna get. I love Ty Lopez. I love Gary Vee. All these guys.
The thing is, why I want to take a course by Grant Cardone, because Grant Cardone, it doesn't even. The main thing what Grant Cardone teaches you is basically sales. How to do sales, how to speak to someone, because if you don't have a way of selling to other people.
Negotiation by Chris Voss
and everything.
But what I'm telling you is, brother, you're being sold to by Grant Cardone and like this little like marketing thing, right? Yes, he's gonna teach you that, but you can learn that from somewhere else for a fraction of the price. You understand me? That's what I'm saying. And right now, your main priority is getting rid of this debt, not paying somebody $6,000 to teach you a skill. They can get it from somewhere else. It's like I can go to a college, pay a ton of money, or I can buy the textbook and get the same information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's the thing. Grant Cardone is a great guy, don't get me wrong, but don't put your money there. That's not where your money belongs right now. You can put your money somewhere else. You get the real estate license. You start reading the correct books, the correct textbooks on sales and all those other perspectives. And then you get really good at practicing it. Some things in life you learn, yes, but a lot of things in life you got to go through it and actually experience it. The only way you get very good at talking to people is not just by Grant Cardone hyping you up, but it's also just by you going out there in the field and actually getting started. There was like a whole problem going on with Grant Cardone. I don't know if you're like a part of the YouTube thing, you saw when he went on the Wolf of Wall Street show, and he just was like, I will sell you a fish just by telling you I got fish, you know. So just guy's cool, but don't spend $6,000 on that when you're like $18,000, $16,000 in debt right now.
Right.
Get it from somewhere else for $15. It's the same information. All right.
Yep. Thanks for your advice.
All right,
And I have another question.
Go ahead.
For follow-up questions, can I call this number or
Yes. $6,000. $6,000 will cost you. Just joking. No, man. Whenever you do want to call me and talk to me, you can't call this number because I won't answer. Just go and schedule another call the same exact way, and then just book an appointment, and then I'll give you a call. Calls are free for right now, and I'll give you a call and talk to you. I'm excited to hear about your debt-free journey. I'm excited to hear about you getting married potentially. I'm excited to hear about how you actually make your life work out for yourself. Okay?
Okay.
And welcome to the long-term team, man. If you ever have any questions, either DM me or just schedule a call, okay?
Yeah, I tried to DM you. DM you through Instagram?
Yeah, sometimes I answer because a lot of DMs, but whenever you do schedule a call, you have a 100% chance that I will call you. So schedule calls when you have something like very urgent that you want to talk to me about, okay? If I don't get to your DM on time. All right, brother.
Okay.
Thank you for everything, man.
So I think about the $6,000 joke.
You like that one?
Yeah.
But it's true, the information I give you, I could charge you a lot of money for, but you could just read the same book that I read and get the same information. It's like this. It's like I learned this from Kim Kardashian, but I also learned this from like this little book right here. It's just all notability and all these other things. So don't really worry about that much. Everyone's trying to sell you and all those things. So I'm not trying to sell you anything, obviously. I maybe it's a mistake. I should try to make money from you since you're so willing to give money out. But yeah, just take it step by step. You read, you practice, you go out there. And consider also, while you're also in camp and you have that job, take a little part-time job doing some sales. And also start training that little like part of your brain that you're actually going out there, getting rejected over and over again, and then turning, well, you don't want to turn no's into yes. You want to just find people that are already willing to actually buy, if that makes sense.
Right.
All right, brother.
And how to start that? You have any ideas?
Read books. A great book on a great book on how to build businesses is called, for example, Will It Fly by Pat Flynn. You also have on Negotiations, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He was basically a CIA agent that negotiated a lot of kidnappings and stuff like that. So he knows about negotiations. And you also have, there's just so many books out there. But read books on real estate so you comprehend what you're actually getting into. Read books on self-development, for example, How to Win Friends and Basically Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And just become a learning machine. And that's how you get ahead, That's going to cost you $15 per book, but it's a lot cheaper than paying $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a course, getting really hyped for those 6 weeks, and then coming back home and you're like, okay, what am I going to do now? You know what I mean? So it happens a lot. So just take it step by step, pay off this debt. Then when you're debt free, focus on this license. You start working out there in the field. You're training, you're learning, and step by step you keep pushing. And by the way, real estate is amazing, However, if you do change your mind about it, don't be afraid to pivot. It does not mean you're a failure. If you become a real estate agent, you find out, hey, I actually don't like this. I actually don't like selling to people. Maybe I just want a more secure job and all this stuff. That's also fine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to go out there and get wealthy. But the most important thing is that you're happy doing what you actually like doing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Have a good day and welcome to the long-term team. Peace out.
Yep. Okay, bye.
All right, guys. So that right there was, I think his name is pronounced. Let me just verify here because I love getting people's names right. But sometimes I think it's Shmuel, something like that. Shmuel. You pronounce it kind of weird. I just can't. I don't really know how you pronounce it, but I think it's Shmuel. Okay, but I want to say thank you for that call. And it reminds me a lot of me being so young and then trying to buy all the fancy courses out there. Although I found different ways to actually get them back when I was younger, don't blame me. But the overall idea is that, people use their notoriety, they use their names. And by the way, it's well worth it sometimes, But the idea is that if you're $16,000 in debt, if you went in default with Verizon for $165, do you really need to spend, for example, $6,000 on a course by Grant Cardone? I love the guy, but the answer is no. Plain and simple. if you want to learn from Grant Cardone, just get his books, right? You read his books, you get the same information. No, you're not talking to him in person. But sometimes the great thing about books is that you don't need to see that person in person. You know, I used to not like the idea that, hey, I can't meet my hero, Warren Buffett. I got a picture of the guy over here, right? But I read his books. All the information that he has, I got it in the books, you know, and he says it all the time, you know, my hero back then, Tommy, was Benjamin Graham. But I could have gotten all the information without going to college just by reading his books also, right? That's the idea. Don't think that seeing somebody in person is going to give you an extra perspective. Usually it just doesn't, especially for $6,000. It's a lot of money. So use that money for something else. And potentially you could have seen that guy, I think Shmuel, get that money by going into credit card debt potentially also, you know, and they would happily take that as a form of payment. You know, I should make a program that doesn't allow you to buy with a credit card. That'd be pretty cool, huh? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. If you want to join me on my next call, feel free to do so. Guess what? The calls are free from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern for right now currently. So get in while you still can. Link is down below in the description. Click that first link and schedule a call over there. As always, if you want to watch more content like this, click over right here for another video. Click my face right here. See you guys tomorrow. And as always,